I think. Did I do it?
You did it.
All right. Well, let me put this on comments and hopefully people will start dropping in. So before we start, this is going to be a question and answer, spiritual unknown, witchy, ask questions. It doesn't matter about what. So I'm with my co-host Drew and our guest Sherry and of course and myself. But before we start, Sherry, you want to tell a little bit about yourself, and then we'll have Drew tell a little bit about herself. So if we get new people coming in,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So who's going first, me or Drew?
Yeah, you go first, sis.
you.
All right. So I'm Sherry from PWI, Paranormal World Investigators, also known as PWI Spiritual Investigators. I have been in the paranormal field for nearly 25 years, and I've been on YouTube for nearly 8. So I educate and learn people about the paranormal, about UFOs, about all of the strange and the unknown. And I also investigate. I'm an investigator, so I do a lot of work and to try and prove the existence of the afterlife. I'm also a white witch, just a witch, but I say a white witch because a lot of you know it that way. So I'm a witch. I'm also a practicing shaman. So I've got a very big spiritual side to me. I do have abilities, guys, where I can see, feel, and hear things, and I channel as well. So if you really like the strange and the unknown, and you like really strange women, I'm the woman for you.
Yeah,
All
like that
right,
part.
welcome in. Susan's in my house. Welcome, Suze. All
Sweet.
righty, that was very, very good. All right, then my co-host Drew.
Hello, everybody. Most of you probably know me as it is, but anybody new coming in, my name is Drew. I do have my own team, Drew's Paranormal Vlog, which I did change to Drew's Abandoned Paranormal Vlog. And the reason I did that, guys, is because there's a lot of abandoned castles around Scotland and mansions and things, so I just added the abandoned to pique more interest, really. I also am a practicing witch. I do spell work every day for people to help them heal, to help them find their spiritual path. I do also do tarot readings, and generally just try and help people in the daily life, guys, and show people that through witchcraft and through spirituality, you can actually live a life where you're blocking things that's aimed at you. You can thrive in your business, you can thrive, and it's all just because witchcraft can help you clear your mind. You can help aim your energies in one way and block them in another, and it's brilliant being a witch. So if you're interested in all that sort of stuff, definitely give us a follow and keep watching Mystical's channel, and you'll see us all around.
Great. Okay, and for the people coming in, I am Mystical Love and Light. I have always helped people. How I call myself or represent myself as is a spiritual being, a spiritual person, a holy spiritual person. I also do paranormal investigations, and I have a whole team that goes with me, including my husband. He's my van security, so he stays in the van with all of my equipment because
Yes, Lee's got a title.
a lot of times I can't, a lot of times I can't take everything in with me, so he stays out because sometimes we have to walk in a good distance from the van.
Yeah.
I do workings also showing people how to empower themselves on how to make oils, powders, anything that you want to do, prayers, workings, anything like that. Watch my channel. I do a lot of how to videos, and so that's kind of where I'm at. I have a whole lot of playlist on my channel of all different things. So like Drew says, subscribe to all of our channels. Make sure you hit the like, hit the notification bell, so every time any of us comes up on our channels, you can pop in and watch. Hello, Brian. Oh, that's you. I started to say hello, PWI. That was you.
Because it's so small on my because it's so small. Is that Brent or is it Bree? It's Brent. Sorry,
Brent. It says BREN. Brent
Bren.
Stout.
Oh, Bren Stout. Sorry, Bren. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, guys, what we try and do is we're just really three women that try and help people online. I've helped people with through spell work, through pouches and things, and the pouches and things like that are herbs, oils put together, sometimes with crystals. You put your intent into it, and you're really just aiming your energies at certain areas in people's life, or for some reason, I'm not really very successful doing spell work on myself. I do find that my forte, if you like, is helping other people, and that's just the way it is. But I don't mind that. So it's really just focusing and channeling your energies in the direction that you know is going to work to help people, and using the right tools as well, such as the right herbs, the right oils, and things. But I love it. I love the journey. I love finding new things to put with new things. It's just great.
In
What
all
about you?
fairness, I think that I don't think any of us really get the same effect from doing something for ourselves. It is always doing it for other people.
Yeah.
That's why we always go
No.
to each other and that. And I just wanted to rephrase what Sis said. We're just three not ordinary women. Like, no, we're three awesome witch women.
Yeah, yeah.
Along with a lot of other ladies out there that are the same as well. We are bringing you sisters in there as well.
Well, yeah, because remember, it's just it's when you help people and you help heal people and teach them. Some people have it in their head when they hear the word witch that it's all bad,
Yeah.
Like Drew has said, we're all sitting around a cauldron, throwing all kinds of animal parts in.
Cackling.
No, 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 no. It's none of that for the new people coming in. We're always trying to help people. And as Sherry says, on the paranormal investigation part, I like to do it because first of all, since we can see and feel and hear spirits, that doesn't mean that the audience can. So we want to prove the existence of them any way we can, along with first debunking anything. So everything we put out is, true stuff. Nothing is set up, nothing is fixed. It's going to be first, if we see something or hear something, we're going to try to debunk it, or we're going to try to catch it on video. I haven't started doing lives yet when I do my paranormal investigations, because I'm not tech savvy and I'm just learning how to do this. Anything I've
Real
done,
learner, guys. Real
yeah,
learner.
anything that I've done so far is because Drew has spent time with me telling me how to do, stuff. But I'm
Christopher
learning.
had to teach me. We've all got to learn from somewhere.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
You
no,
know?
definitely. Yeah.
yeah,
We've
so
all
once I
been there.
learn how to do the live, then I'll just snowball it from there. But right now, like with my crew, we have two separate cameras. We have a still camera, and then with all of our devices, the SLS camera. So we try to catch as much as we can, different angles, so that maybe one camera might catch something visually and the other one might catch something audible,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we try to do it that way, but debunking first and then proving that we've debunked it. Therefore, we're showing what we see. Hey, Dobby, she did make it
Hi,
in.
welcome, Dobby. See, I've
So,
not had the chance yet to do an inside investigation anywhere I've went. It's all been outside investigations. So I'm looking forward to doing a full investigation properly. Do it going around doing the sweep, like the sweep with the meters and things, and then testing the air. I'm looking forward to doing a full investigation somewhere, because when you investigate in the woods or castles and things that's abandoned, it's not really like a full investigation that you would do if you went into, say, an old pub or something,
Yeah,
because
no, it
you're
is different.
outside.
It
It's
is
totally
different.
different, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Have you been in anywhere mystical in an actual location
well,
where a
yeah,
building
because,
is like?
well, I used to do a lot of houses, going
Right.
into people's houses, but when I first started years ago, I would go in and do an investigation. I would also cleanse the houses when I would do it, but I never videotaped anything.
Right.
But then when I started, a lot of people were saying, "Well, do you have a channel? Are you on YouTube?" And I'm like, "Lord, no, I don't want to do YouTube because I'm not tech savvy." But then as I went on and on and on, I started saying, well, maybe I'll go ahead and um, start putting things on video. So now I don't do the cleansing in people's houses as so much anymore. I'll go in and I'll investigate. And I always tell them when I go in and investigate that I'm here to find answers for them. I will always have them ahead of time write down what they want to know, or what they want to ask. Maybe they're wanting to find out if it's family members, or maybe they have a history of the house, that I
Yeah.
know nothing of. So that way, if they write stuff down while I'm doing the investigation, I can also ask those questions and try to get answers for them. So I tell
Yeah.
them I'm not there to cleanse anything like that. I'm there for
To
that
get answers, yeah.
particular reason to get, to get answers for them.
I
Because
definitely want to start doing
when
things like that,
when
definitely.
yeah, when I used to go in and cleanse houses, I never videotaped it or anything.
Yeah,
But I always charged when I did that too.
right.
And because you're putting your life, at risk when you're going in and doing that. And so, there always had to be, something, there in order to do that. But I don't really go in and cleanse anymore. I'll just do the investigation, get the answers for them, give them all the information, and have them like sign a contract or something stating that I've got permission to
Yeah.
put the video out for what we've documented. So we don't charge, but that's one of the things that if they sign over, the rights that we can put it on YouTube, then we go ahead and we do it that way. They don't have to be on
Yeah.
camera if they don't want to be. They can if they want to be, but that's kind
But
of
it teaches other
what we
people,
do.
though, if they let you put it out on YouTube or any other platform, it does help other people that's maybe going through the same
Oh, it
thing
does.
to recognise that it
It,
is
mhm.
spirits.
Because I do the same as you. I do the same as Sister Mystical. I've been into houses and investigated, but I have actually done it the side where I do it onto YouTube and people get to see what I've gone. And obviously, I've done the
Mhm.
same thing, written contracts. They've said, yes, it's okay to do that. I do cleansings and stuff because a lot of the people that come to me, yes, I do look for the evidence. Yes, I do debunk and prove and whatever else, but I also cleanse because it is my criteria.
Yeah.
That is what I do.
Mhm.
Um, for me, I've never charged in any house cleansings or anything like that. I have always been free. Um, but I do agree with Sister Mystical, but that was only because I just started out on YouTube and I really didn't feel I wanted people to feel like that. But as
Yeah.
time's gone on and now that I'm getting more and more into it and getting more and more interest, I think it is getting to a point now where for certain things that we do have to charge because we do put our energy into it. We do put ourselves at
Yeah.
risk. And I got very badly attacked in my last house investigation that I nearly died. So, I'm not going to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
somebody that charges somebody loads and loads and loads of money, but I will
Right.
start charging somebody a little something. Because
Right.
I'm not
I
really
do
about
feel as
money.
if,
About
because
helping.
think about it, your oils and your
Mhm.
herbs and different
Yeah.
things, even your expenses to get to these places, it
Yeah.
does cost money. And unfortunately, in today's society, everything's about money. So it is good to think that you wouldn't want to charge people for such things, but then again, everything comes down to money,
Yeah.
and it is, even if you just ask for a donation. I mean, it's
Well,
Well,
that's how
simple.
and
I would do
yeah,
it. I wouldn't ask for a set price. I'd just say if you could just
yeah,
donate enough for me to be able to travel now, because I really don't. I don't really want to charge people for what I do because I believe
Yeah,
that it's part of us and it's helping people.
yeah,
But
mhm.
at the same time, we, like Miss Sister Mystical said, we are putting ourselves at risk every time we do this. Like
yeah.
major,
Yeah. Well, see,
It's
major.
like our tarot readings. I didn't want to ever charge for a
No,
tarot
I
reading.
didn't, but we
But
have
the
to.
more and more I'm starting to do it, and the more and more I recognise that people are coming to me all the time, but because I'm free, a lot of them are using my time up because I'm free, so therefore I'm doing them all the time. Whereas I find now that I'm charging, that I'm getting that filtered out a little bit, and it's the people that genuinely want a reading now that's contacting me instead of just
Yeah,
people that's
Mhm.
bored on Facebook that's wanting a reading.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
you do have to filter out when you help and when you don't, and when you charge and when you don't.
And you do learn to
Yes.
see the people that value you and value your
Yeah,
gifts and value what you can do. You
Mhm.
do see that.
yeah.
And we've got a lot of that in our community. We've got the best community fam
Well,
ever.
yes,
You know what
definitely.
I mean? Like literally.
Yeah, because see, when I used to charge, and I used to charge a flat rate,
Yeah.
for having to go in, and especially for the ones that they were having harmful, experiences where they were
Harmful
being
ones. Yeah.
harmed,
Yeah,
physically, mentally harmed, not just where it's in their head, where there's actual proof of what,
yeah.
what is going on, and all of that. But now what I do, because just the gas alone, the upkeep on your devices,
Exactly.
all of this costs money, because with the energy we're putting out, with our experience we're putting out, with all of the equipment that we're putting out, it's almost like we can be there to help you, but it's also the same thing as if you have also a business. You have to charge, because you
Well,
have to
that's
have
it. Mhm.
you have to be able to help yourself too. You can't, unless you're a millionaire, then yeah,
Yeah.
do everything for free. But now
Yeah.
what I do, like when I do investigations in houses and stuff like that, and people ask me, what do you charge, I say no, I don't charge anything, it's free. But if you want to give a donation, I never turn it down, because I guarantee
Yeah.
you
No.
that's
Yeah.
gonna go right
Exactly.
back into the gas that I use, for driving over there and stuff like that. So I don't turn down a donation, but I don't charge
No. Definitely
anymore
not.
either for
It's
doing
not
the
that. Technically, this is our
Only
investigations.
thing to
business,
have a
isn't it? I mean,
donation,
technically, this is
of
our
course.
business, it is our job. So you wouldn't expect a carpenter or a joiner or somebody to do a job for nothing, you know? So it is just being appreciated in a way that helps you also thrive, you know?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that is what a lot of it is. And like Sister Mystical said, the donations do help when people do that. Like it doesn't go on anything for ourselves. It goes into, like, obviously petrol, travel, going
Yeah,
back to buying the tools and the bits that we need to use that, because we have to use a lot of things when we do our investigation, herbal stuff and
yeah,
oil and stuff, especially if you're doing ritual stuff where you're removing things. You're going to be using a lot of things and having to get certain
Mhm.
crystals to leave with the clients, all
yeah,
sorts of things. So it's always money. It's very,
yeah.
very
Mhm.
expensive.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And all of us, we do it. And, oh, hey,
Hi,
Christine is
Christine.
in.
Hi,
We
Hello.
do it to
I can
help
see your
people, but at
comments.
we do it to help people, but at the same time, we can't go in debt ourselves, or we're
Exactly.
useless,
Yeah.
or you were useless, and we can't help anybody. And these days, like everybody else, we probably live from paycheck to paycheck, you
Well,
know.
that's it,
And
isn't it?
if somebody says, all I have is $10 to give you for gas,
Take
as
it.
a donation, that's fine. That's $10 that goes into the gas, or
Yeah.
$5 or $20
Brother.
or whatever they have. Now, everybody coming in, this is a question and answer live stream also. Any questions? Living History Mysteries is in.
Hello.
Hey, Brother Drew.
And
Hi,
so
brother.
any questions, anything like that you want to ask, just ask, and we'll give you our answers according to our own experiences. Maybe
Yep.
Sherry has a different experience than me and Drew. Maybe Drew has a different experience than me and Sherry. So we will give you our experiences on what we are familiar with on the situation.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
So
we all work in different ways, even though that we work really well together and we've got lots of similarities. There are a lot of things where we would be different. You know what I mean? Like where Sis may do a ritual one way and Sister Dream may do a ritual one way, I may do it another way. Like that, we've all got our own way that we work comfortably.
Because
You
there's
know what I mean?
not just one way to do things. There's not just
Yeah.
a right way and a wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
yep.
Look at,
Things
well,
come.
for example, there we did the healing prayers the other day, well, last week it was now, and what we did was, my idea, what I was going to do, guys, is I was going to, if nobody knew how to do like the cleansing or do like a prayer that they were doing or push the intent out, I was going to lead it. But it was so good because the fact that the four of us that was doing it knew what we were going to do. We knew where we were aiming things, and basically the four of us just did our own thing and then came back together, and it was just good. It was good the way it all worked out. But it was 4 different perspectives on how you can do what we were trying to do, and it was amazing. It worked so good.
Mm-hmm.
And Sister Christine, I did get your message in that, but what we're trying to do is not look
Yeah, we're
into
not going to talk about
it.
it
There's a lot
live.
of stuff going on, but I don't want to be talking about it on here and giving energy to anything. So we'll talk later.
Yeah,
No
or we'll send you the
recognition.
link after it.
But thank you for
Yeah.
asking, sweetheart, and I am okay. I'm in
Yeah.
control, so don't worry.
Yeah, for anybody coming in, we're not giving any recognition to any negative entities that has happened recently. So we're trying to stay positive and
Yeah.
upbeat to push things out that need to be pushed out. So also to remember, any questions you have, please ask, because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something you're even curious at. I really am looking forward to this year happening. I'm looking forward to this year now I'm monetised and things on YouTube to actually
Silver
make a
Knight.
good go. Welcome. To make a good go at YouTube and trying my hardest to make my channel work. I really am going to try all my focus this year. I'm going to try and put shorts out a couple of times a week, go live a couple of times a week as well, obviously with my sisters and different things. One night will be paranormal, the other night will be like witchcraft night. So I definitely want to give it a go this year. I think this year is going to be the year for a lot of us.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just have a good
Welcome in
feeling about
everybody. Hit the like button, remember, for Mystical.
Thank you.
And I
I'm
do
trying.
agree with what you're saying. It is all about the clients and stuff as well. You know, the clients are the most important thing, but also the life of the person that's performing the rituals and things.
Yeah.
They're very important as well. They're human themselves. You know, so yeah,
I've
Mhm.
always said all I want to do is talk to spirits. I've always said that for the minute I've started this journey. That's all I've ever said is I just want to talk to spirits. I just want to know what keeps them stuck here or what brings them back time after time. So any location I go to, it is genuinely to find out why the spirits are hanging around. What keeps you here? What's your story when you were alive? And the
Mhm.
take on from then to now. I've just got so
yeah,
many questions I want to ask. I love it.
Mhm.
I just love it.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up too. So, when a lot of us, when we're doing our investigations, we're wanting to understand their story.
yeah,
What did they go through? What put them in that situation? If there's anything that, besides helping people that live in the houses that they're asking for assistance, we also go to places that's not occupied by the living to try to find out if we can help the spirits that's there, the ones that's been deceased for a long time, if they have a message they want us to pass on.
Yeah.
exactly. And it is literally about them. That like about them. And obviously, yeah, the clients are important, but it is about the spirits. That's why we're doing this. We're trying
Yeah.
to prove their existence and.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to understand the history about them, what they've gone through, things like that. Because let's face it, there's a lot of energy that walk around in this world that's lost or doesn't really know what's going on, or
Mm-hmm.
and there's so many different reasons to why spirits and ghosts and whatever are here. There's so many different reasons to it, and some things we're only just finding out about. We're learning things every day when
Yeah.
we're in communication with them. You know what I mean? So it's an
Yeah.
amazing job to do.
And not two investigations are the same. Even if you go
No,
back
they're
to a
not.
location, it's not the same as the last
It's
time.
not.
I'm always surprised that every time I go to Burkwood, for example, there's always different voices. It's as if the more that you go down, the more they go away and tell other spirits about you. And then, so when you go back to that area, it's as if they say, right, Drew's here, come on, or something, it's crazy. It's as if they tell other spirits, so they now come.
So we got a question here from Living History Mysteries. Drew one. He's mystical love and light. What do you believe makes a spirit aggressive besides the fact that they were assholes in life and still are in death? And actually, that is the number one thing of why the spirit is still aggressive.
Yeah,
But maybe a lot of times too, they may have passed and not be aggressive. Maybe they're in a home that was their home for a long time, or on the land that was theirs for a long time, and then all of a sudden somebody moves in and starts changing the house around, turn walls down, fixing it, and they feel like that's their home still because they've lived there for centuries, and then somebody's going to come in and change everything up and it pisses them off. Same way with the
Disrespecting them,
land.
disrespecting them as well, calling them
Yes,
names. They don't like
exactly.
that either.
Yes, and this land the same way. Maybe they had, that they've always had respect for their land and the land provided for them, and then somebody's going to buy the land, come in and build some kind of a building on it that's going to piss them off. So that has a lot to do with it too.
And with the spirits, like you're saying, like these, but like if there was a person that in life was not a very nice person and wasn't a very good person to approach and stuff, they're not going to be like that they're going to be like that in death as well. Okay, they're not going to change. They don't change, you know. And like I love the way that you say things, living, like the way that you phrase things, but to some spirits, like if they see that that those certain words and stuff, they would probably take that quite offensive. You know what I mean?
Is it? What's he saying now?
No, like literally, it like to us it's funny. We know it's humour and that, but like
Yeah.
a lot of people they wonder why spirits kick out and that. But when you're calling them things like arseholes and whatever else, they don't take friendly to that, do
Yeah,
they?
I think you have to
Right.
stay respectful, even if the spirit
Yeah,
is being a little bit aggressive. I think you have
yeah,
to show your human side and just try and stay calm and positive.
yeah.
Mhm. Yep, exactly. So I started to ask Drew her point, but she just pretty much
Oh, sorry,
uh
I'm having a
oh,
smoke, guys. That's why I put the camera
that's
off. You
no,
can
that's
go
okay. I
on it.
started No, that's okay. I started to say you can still talk. And did you want to add anything to the
No, that
question?
was fine. That's okay. I was just
Alrighty. So Andrew, Sue says she'll be right back. Let's see here. I'm
And you
trying to
don't really
keep
know half of these spirits, do you? So you don't really know what they've gone through in life either. So
exactly.
you know,
Maybe they were done. Yeah, maybe it's not so much their assholes because they were an asshole
horrible.
actually,
Yeah,
but maybe someone did them so wrong and
that
broke
they
them
change.
down that it
Yeah,
changed their whole perspective of life and death, and that could also, uh, be
definitely.
it too.
that's another one. Yeah,
I can definitely think of times in my life that if I had died, I would have been a restless spirit. I
yeah,
honestly can sit here and
Hmm.
think if I had died in that situation, I'm not so sure I would have wanted to cross over. So you can
yeah.
understand why a lot of spirits do stay hang around.
And like Bryn says, also they haven't been heard and they want to be heard.
Yeah,
Yes,
That's
that
if
could be another
probably
one.
the,
Yeah,
the biggest one, isn't it? That is probably the biggest thing that keeps them here is the fact that they want to say something before they do actually transgress into that next realm. There's something that they
yeah.
always wanted to say in life and didn't get the chance to say it. And I do believe that we did an investigation up at Douglas Cemetery. It was one of the first times that we ever actually walked around the cemetery. I think we were live, or maybe we weren't, but you could hear the spirits coming through the camera. And there was a boy had killed himself, sorry, and basically the cemetery's here, and then over the back there was a homeless place, and the boy had done away with himself. Let's say that, and it came through the camera. Tell such and such I'm sorry. So he was obviously trying to apologise to somebody that he had did that to himself. And
Hmm.
that came through the camera, guys. So I do believe that he maybe did then cross over because he managed to say what he wanted to say, and we did hear him. So that got his message out into the universe.
and that
You
is
know?
a
Yeah.
lot of what they want. They just want to get their message out there and they want to be heard. You know what I mean? Like, and that is like apart from us proving the existence of them, that is what our job is. It's our job to get their message out there. It's to help them to understand and to help them to move on. That is what is really important in an investigator's career. That is.
I think that's probably why it's harder with kid spirits then, because they don't understand what's going on. You know?
That you have to be a little bit more hand forward with the children's spirits, like they'll talk to you about certain things that happen to them now, but you kind of have to kind of push that on yourself. You have to do certain ritual things for them, put certain things out to help them to feel a lot better. It's a lot
Yeah.
different to doing an
Hmm.
adult spirit, most
Hmm.
definitely.
Yeah.
Because they'll start off, and sometimes they'll turn into an asshole when they're trying to. They'll give you little signals, turning the lights off and on, moving little things around, trying to get your attention in a good way. But most people that aren't into this don't see it as anything good. They see it as something bad because they're scared of it. But
Yeah.
then they'll do more and more and more trying to get your attention, and they're like, man, that person must be blind. So then they start doing more and more. And then when the person living there finally catches on that there's a spirit there, they think they're being mean or whatever,
Yeah.
when they're not. They're just trying to get your
Uh-huh.
attention, to be able to speak.
9
So-
times out of 10, they think it's demonic or it's a
I
negative
know, that's
Yeah,
crazy,
and
isn't
And it
it?
isn't.
As
It's
if a
not.
demonic entity's going to start switching your light switches on and off
Yeah,
and
but
things,
that's
you know?
how shallow people's minds have become because of where they watch other people
Yeah.
that put this into their heads. They're not educated properly. You know what I mean? Like, it's very rare to come across a demonic or anything of that type. It'll be in very negative places where there's a lot of negative energy, where there's been a lot of negative things that have happened. Demonic spirits are very rare. 9 times out of 10, it's an angry spirit that's not getting listened to, or something's happened, or it died wrongly, or it's somebody like these sisters have said, you've moved something in their house, or you've done something they didn't like. 9 times out of 10, it's not demonic. It's not.
Yeah,
They're
and
trying to
that's
bring that.
and that's the only way some people can explain that something's going in their
That's
house.
about
Oh, I got the devil in here. I got a demon in here. When
Yeah.
all it is it may be a spirit in there, but you got to, and some of them are bad, but you got to, go in, do your investigations, and find out what is
And they always
actually
start
going on.
panicking. It comes through the spirit box demon, and they're all like, "Oh, there's a demon! There's a demon!" Do you honestly think a demon is going to say on a spirit box, "I'm a demon"? No. Crazy.
Well, see, some entities will claim to be one
Yeah.
because they want to scare you so they can pull that much more energy from you, because you're scared and your adrenaline is high, and so they pull that adrenaline from you. So a lot of them that says that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to frighten you. Doesn't necessarily mean they're one. It's just a tactic that they use. If you're going to go get into a fight, you're going to puff up and act like you're all big and say a bunch of words. And, well, that's the same way a spirit is going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is what they do. And 9 times out of 10, if they're trying to cover themselves or protect themselves, or what you got to remember is sometimes some investigators that go into these places are not respectful and are not very good with the spirits, okay? And over time, seeing that over and over again, they're gonna pick up on that, and they're gonna know that certain people react to the word demonic, free scratches, whatever, and they do this to scare you and move you away because they don't know how else to react, because they don't know how to trust you because of others. That's why it's really important to build that relationship with them and try to make them understand we're not here to hurt you, we're here to help you. Because there is a lot of people that are so
I bet there's some locations you never get an answer.
Respectful people in this field.
Yeah. There'll probably be
Welcome back, Suze.
places. Welcome, Suze. There'll be places where you'll never get an answer, and the spirits will probably never want to talk to you. It's just the way it is.
And you have to respect that. They are still human. Most of these spirits that you come into contact with and you think's demonic are human spirit. Not all of them want to talk. Not all of them want to be seen or heard. And it's no different for us with abilities. We're not, like, when you hear that we've got abilities, you expect that we see every spirit. No, spirits will let you see them if they want you to. That is the difference. You know what I mean? Like, and it's no different for you guys. Like, you could go to a location and go there 5-6 times and get nothing. And then you could go back one day and there is something. It really depends on the spirit and how the spirit's feeling at that time. You know what I mean?
I love this, what Silver Knight Kyle put on here. Woman, the strength of light of the world. Proof positive on this panel here. Yes.
Woman power.
See, I've not got as
let's show our muscles.
with my white arms.
As Drew would say, whoop whoop.
Yeah. And just males that are investigators. Women are as well, guys, and we do it pretty good.
Do you
I'm not
see my t-shirt, guys? Then I'll show you my t-shirt. This is a mother who's trying to get justice for her son. Do you see the
Oh,
boy? He was 19 years old and he disappeared from his mother's house one weekend
Oh,
and was found 2 weeks later, deceased, with basically naked.
oh my God.
And the police told the family that his body was at a certain location, and it wasn't. It was actually they had dragged his body from the bog to a location where they wanted it to be. There's a big full investigation trying to get going on for it, guys. It's really quite. If you go over to my YouTube channel, I actually explain it all better there. It's just in case anybody's wondering what the T-shirt is, definitely check it out, guys. It's a case that, especially in Scotland and in England, we need to try and get to the government. We need to try and get the Parliament
Yeah,
to look at it and open the case back up because there's loads of red flags that they missed.
yeah, it is, and
I just,
it's these sort of cases where you get these lost souls and these spirits that
yeah,
can't move on because they know something happened to them and that story's not out there and it's all mixed up and whatever. And it's really important to help them. You know what I mean? As much as you
yeah.
can.
See, that's the thing. You just don't know what a spirit is struggled with before the
No.
past. I mean, I
yeah.
often wonder if Billy was okay, because before Billy passed, him and our Kerry had fell out, and she had came down to Les Mahago to get some space. And what she was actually going to stay at my mum and dad's that night, and she actually went back up to Colburn to get a change of clothes for her and Zach. And when she went in, she found them deceased. And she ran back out to the car and she was like, Papa, Papa, I think Billy's unconscious, but he had actually died. But it's cases like that that makes you wonder, is that ever is people like that ever going to want to be reincarnated again? You know what I mean? And if they did reincarnate again, would they want to be reincarnated into the same family, or would it just totally be a random place, a random family or something, you know? Or does that stick them and they just don't want to ever come back, you know, because it's so heartbreaking?
There's a lot of, to be honest, it's a lot of ways. Some of them do want to come back into the family as somebody else. Some of them want to just go and start a new life and try and carry on.
Mm,
Some spirits can't move on from the fact of that. Like if your daughter and him had had a bit of a fallout, he's gonna be a bit mixed up because they never put that
yeah,
to rest. But over time, you talking, showing your generosity to him, showing your love, saying that you all miss him is helping him to realise that you do love him. And it was just a
yeah,
heat of that moment with them both. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, he may be distraught and upset over the fact of how things ended. But at the same time, I think he knows that you all love him. And
yeah.
I mean, like, I do.
The funny
And the
thing
love that
was,
he
he
showed
always
that
said he
spirit
was
box.
going to die at 28. He always told everybody that he would die at 28. He would never see his 30s and things. So it's a bit ironic that it did actually happen, you know? But it's just that type of thing that makes you want to speak to that person and then well, that spirit
And
to
it
see,
helps.
are you okay? Did you have you actually crossed over, and are you okay with the fact that you didn't get to hear the word "I'm sorry" or something? You know, it's things like that that keeps me awake at night, and I always think
Yeah.
I need to ask the spirits that type of question: is, are you okay? And do you realise that you are forgiven for the argument you had with your partner? That type of thing. It makes it
He did
interesting,
kind
I
of
think.
speak on the spirit box that night, and he
Yeah,
was
he did,
he was saying that he loved you all, and he was saying about how his boy's grown up and stuff like
Yeah,
that. I do think that
that was amazing.
he's definitely on the other side and that. Yeah, I just think that
Yeah.
he just still has that very strong connection with all of you, and I just feel that he wants to protect you all. Like
Yeah,
he's still trying to carry on who he was when he was alive. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's a
didn't happen the way it should have happened, and it would have been nice if they made it up. But sadly, in life, things don't always
I
plan out
know,
the way that they need to plan out. You know what I mean?
I
yeah,
know.
'cause if someone died real suddenly or they were sick, uh, they won't even know that they passed. So a
Yeah,
lot of them that want answers, we're trying to find out their story. they're wanting to even find out their story and where we can
Yeah.
help them when we do investigations. Some of them, they don't know. Some of them ask, am I past? Am I dead?
Yeah, that I
You
get that on my
know?
spirit box all the time. Am I
Yeah.
dead? Well, when I say hello, spirits, are you there? They go, am I dead? And I'm like, yes, you
Yeah.
are. I'm really sorry to have to
See,
tell you that.
that's
They
sad,
go,
isn't it?
what? You know,
Hmm.
they don't. A lot of them don't know because it happened all of a sudden, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
they
Yeah,
don't know what, what came about or anything like that, and they want answers. They want somebody to come, and if nobody comes to help them, that's when they'll start moving stuff in certain places, trying to find out. We got a question
Sorry
here
to hear that,
also.
Brent.
Yeah, Bryn, we're sorry to hear that. That's gotta be, oh Lord, that's gotta be so hard.
my son
Yeah.
passed away.
Um,
Very
See,
sorry
that's
about
another reason. There's a lot of people out there that does get interested in the paranormal and spirituality and things when a loved one passes, because in Brett's situation, you think, wow, how did that happen? One minute they're here, the next minute they're gone. And it kind of
got
jolts
that
you
point
into the
number.
paranormal to try and see if it's all real, you know?
hmm
Have
Okay,
any of
so
you ever died and been brought back, or was it something else that led you down the path? For me, I've had ability since I was young. So for me, I have always had that capability of communicating with spirit and stuff. So I've always wanted to bring that out. I have had a near-death experience where I nearly died, and do believe that I have seen the light and things like that. But that's not the reason I came into it. My
Hmm.
journey started from a very young age. I started having abilities at 5 years old. So mine is the fact of everything I've been able to see and wanting to prove to everyone else and to help. So, yeah.
Yeah. You want to
Drew,
answer, Mr. Cole? You can
go
go
ahead,
first,
Drew.
right?
Go ahead.
Mine's was totally different, guys. I have not got. I didn't start this with any abilities whatsoever. What really happened to me was I've always been interested in the paranormal, the stories, watching the television programs and things. And when I was younger, my mum always told us a creepy story on a Friday and a Saturday night. Woody's back.
He is big
Oh,
time.
really?
Um, so basically, through that, I always loved the paranormal and creepy stories. So when I got older and things, and I moved up here, through just my life being in a turmoil, basically drug addiction, deaths in the family, money problems. I had just moved into a new house. I ended up really, really struggling. So I reached out just to, if anything's here, basically help me. And that is when I realised that witchcraft and things was very real, and deities and things was very real. I do believe it was Santa Marta I seen that night, and I knew instantly that when I seen her and she smiled that everything was going to be okay. That I had found some sort of saviour, if you like.
Yeah.
And then from then on, I just researched and researched. I researched witchcraft, I researched spirituality, different ways to practice, and different religions and how they incorporated that into their daily life. And basically, through the interest in paranormal and not having a way out, I just found my spirituality, and I've never
Mhm.
looked back. I realise now that it's always been in me. I just never ever activated it before and never realised that that was my path. I've always
Yeah.
kind of did witchy things, if you like, but didn't realise it was witchy things. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey for me, and it's all came about, I'd say, in the last what, maybe 10 years. 10 years, yeah, roughly.
So
But I
before
do
I,
believe I'm getting sensitive. I do believe now
Oh,
I
you
can
are.
tell when spirits are
You are.
beside me and things, and
Mhm.
I'm instantly knowing when it's a bad thing and a good thing now as well. So I do believe you can bring the gifts onto yourself. Maybe not as deeply as Mystical and Sherry because they were born with their gifts, but you can learn. You can learn.
before I start, is the clicking gone away?
Yes,
Yes,
it's with
as yeah.
it's
Okay.
away.
Okay. It's weird how well, he'll say Kyle, that he says the clicking is a mic near computer fan. But
Right.
my mic, my computer is, okay, both of my computers are on the table. And where it's plugged in is in the backside of it on another table. So it's weird that it would be picking
Yeah.
up way over here. But every time I stand up or something, it goes away.
It goes away.
But I know. Okay, so but to answer the question, I've not had a near-death experience at all. Um, like Sherry, I was given a gift since I was very young, but not as young as Sherry, but mine started about, I want to say between 10 and 13. Because at 10, I started noticing things, but by the time I got to the age of 13, I had already figured out a lot of stuff in between of what I was capable of things that I could use my words for, things that I could make happen just thinking about it. Um, Things that I could help people. When I
Yeah.
could see that I could help people, I would ask them what was going on with them, if they've been to the doctor, and I would only step in at that time, at that young of an age, if I found out that they'd already, say they were terminally ill. If I found out they'd already been going to doctors after doctors after doctors, been on all different kinds of medications, they were told that they only had X amount of time to live, only then would I step in and assist with a healing prayer to heal them at that time, because I didn't want to do it before, because I don't feel like it was me healing them. I feel like since it was a gift, it came from my creator. So it was my
Yeah.
creator working through me. It was the source working through me to heal somebody. But I didn't want to do it before that time, because then I would be thinking, okay, well, was it the medication they were taking finally kick in? Was it the doctors that they changed something up that finally, so I wouldn't, if they came to me and asked for my help, if word, sometimes word got around what I could do, and I would tell them, no, I'm not stepping in to do anything until you have exhausted all resources.
Yeah.
Only at
Yeah.
that time would I step in, and then I would say, when they were like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you, when everything turned out for the positive, I would say there's no need to thank me, because it wasn't me. It was the source. The source
Yeah.
is what healed you. It just worked through me, but then I had to start in, as the years went on, in my teens and 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, only till I got into my 50s did I start backing off, because I started finding out that every time I was healing somebody, I would take a little bit of what they had, and it would take me, at first, it would take me a few hours to kick it off. Then, as I got older and older, it would take longer and longer, because my energy wasn't the same as it was when as a young pup, I'll say.
Right.
So I started having to, when it started hanging on for a couple of days that I couldn't shake it, they would be healed, they would be fine, but I couldn't shake it. That's when I made up my mind to say, okay, no longer am I going to do that. I will do prayers for them, but not to that extent that I was putting myself at risk anymore, and that I would show people how to empower themselves. So that's a lot of what I do on my channel, is show people how to empower themselves by doing their own kind of workings or prayers, or showing them how to make oils and powders and how to anoint candles and stuff like that, so they can burn the candles and put their own energy into it, because everybody has this ability, they just don't know how to use it.
I
they
agree.
they
Yeah.
they think, well, if they think something in their head, they think, oh, it's just me thinking, just thinking it and nothing else. No, someone has put that thought in your head. Your spirit has put that thought in your head to do something a certain way, to say
Yeah.
something a certain way, because words mean so much. People have no idea how workings work with just using words.
Yeah.
I could be out on the road
It's
and do
like
a
if you've ever
prayer.
been to college or anywhere or a motivational course, they always have these vision boards and things. It's much like that. It's all about visualization. It's just that the real difference is that we do research as well into herbs and oils and ways to push out a bigger intent, if you like, things to help multiply the thought, things to help block other things to not interfere with that and things. So it's all about blocking negative energies and thriving on positive energies, really. And if you look here, I've got a smoky quartz in my right hand and I've got a clear quartz in my left. And that's really, I'll carry these with me constant. Usually I have them on me. And that's just so that I'm balanced all the time. And a lot of the time it is about balancing things as well. It's a great life to get into if you want direction in your life.
Yeah.
You want stability as well. It helps you stay stable in your daily routines and things. It's an amazing journey, honestly.
But a lot of our work is in here,
Hmm.
and from
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Words
it's
are
belief.
powerful. You've got to remember that words are very powerful. If you think how much you can hurt somebody's feelings with words, think about that power. That is also can be transformed into other directions. That's just to show you how powerful words can be. You can hurt
Yeah,
people, you can make them feel loved, you can make them doubt themselves, and it's all by words. If you find the power within those words, putting them together, and then adding a little bit of intent, adding extra things like herbs and oils and things to help push it out and multiply it, then you really, really are doing a good justice for the people around you that you want to help. And little do people realise, I'd say 99% of spiritual people, witches if you like, would never even think about doing anything negative. It's usually how to block the negative from anything else, really, and
yeah,
help people.
Hmm. And when I would do a lot of healings, also too, is I never would attempt to help someone without them asking for my help,
Yeah,
because my belief is like, okay, for example, I had um, someone that needed help but wouldn't ask. And I would
yeah,
tell them, all you have to do is ask, because if they ask, then they're willing to put out what needs to be done to heal themselves. Some people won't ask and they want you to do it, but it doesn't work the same, because they want you to do all of the work and they don't want to put no effort into it. You know,
right.
I
if
don't work
you
like that.
See,
no,
there's
no,
always
because
that
you
danger,
have to.
isn't there? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I had someone come to me and ask me, say, my relative, whether it was an aunt or whoever it was in the hospital. They're dying, and can you go do a prayer for them? And I said,
Yeah.
are they able to talk themselves? Are they alert? And they said yes. And I said, then what you need to do is get them on the phone so she can ask me for help, because
Yeah,
her
so they can
belief may
receive the
not be the
energy.
same as my belief. She may be
Right.
offended if I do a prayer for her. Oh God,
Yeah.
this person that's all spiritual. How do I know what she believes in, and all of this? And I said, I can't just step in someone's circle and do a prayer for them. They have to want it. They need to ask for the help, and then I would be happy to give the help. But there's too
So
many beliefs out
technically,
there.
then, if somebody's lying there no well, then, and if they say, "Please, somebody, just help me," us then, even though they've not asked us directly, is that when we could help them without them asking us directly, if you like, because they have actually called out to the universe to be helped. If you know what
Yes,
I'm trying to
Yeah,
say,
that's different. If
yes,
they're asking it out straight, like to
right,
right,
anybody to help them, yeah, that's
right.
different. But if it's a
right,
specific thing that they're needing, then you do need to go to the practitioner and you do need to speak to them, because
Hey,
your
Panka.
intentions and
Hey,
that
Michelle.
practitioner's intentions is what makes it work. You can't do it one
yeah,
stream. It can't be just the practitioner. It has to be the person that needs it as well. So
yeah.
Yeah, because if they're asking for just help in general, they're wanting help, any help that they can receive.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm just
But you
wondering
would
because
be
I
surprised.
help people all the time without them knowing. Well, I think, to be honest with you, they must have called out to the universe in order for me to hear the
Hey,
plea, if you
Panka.
like, because I wouldn't just help somebody out the blue if they didn't already put the vibration out, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Well, if you're just randomly sitting there and someone like comes over and needs the help but doesn't say to you, and they've been praying it out and that, then you know the higher powers that you work with, the energies that you work with, would be putting that across that. Oh, maybe you need to do a healing for this
Yeah.
person, whatever, because they have
Mhm.
spoke for it, and that's what they do. They'll speak to you and tell you that that needs to be done for
Yeah.
that person. You know what I mean? So that's why you've done it without saying anything to me. Even
I
So,
was just a bit worried there because about
mhm.
80% of the people I help haven't really asked me face to face for the help. It's just that I know they're struggling with the looks on them, you know, like such as Uncle Danny and things. When you see that he's not well, I'll go do a candle, that type of thing. So that is what I'm trying to kind of justify. Is that okay
And
to
then
do that?
a lot of these people know you and know that you're good at your work, so they're not going to be offended by you doing that. But if that was a
Yeah,
complete stranger, then maybe they would say something. And I don't think you would
right.
do that for a complete stranger, to be
No, I
honest.
wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't do it
You
for
wouldn't,
somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and ask you.
I'll,
You know what I mean?
I'll give you a good example. Okay, my brother.
Right.
He was an ordained minister. Okay, I've told you
Yeah.
before he was an ordained minister. Everything that I do, I kept from him because it's totally against his beliefs.
Uh-huh.
Totally against. Now, we took him into the house after, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 doctors couldn't help him. Hospitals couldn't help him. They put him in a funeral home, okay, to die. He couldn't move. He couldn't roll over. He kept biting his tongue because he couldn't talk. He couldn't go to the bathroom on his own. Nothing. Zero movement in his body other than he kept biting his tongue because he kept wanting to talk and he couldn't talk. Okay, mainly we got him out of the hospital. We got him out of the nursing home. We brought him home. I prayed over him, okay? And we'll try not to cry. I prayed over him. Do you know? Okay, so he couldn't feel anything. His whole body was numb.
Mm-hmm.
So I prayed over him, and he said, I'm going to try not to cry, people.
Sending you strength, Beth.
He said, when you prayed over me, he said, that hurt. It hurt so much that I felt pins in my body. Okay? Because he was seeing it as negative. And I said, Rex, if you could feel that, that was doing you good. Because you couldn't feel anything. So if you feel pins and needles, something is happening.
It was working.
Yeah.
Yes, something is happening. And he said, well, I don't like that feeling. Because
Yeah, but that's
to
because you're not
him,
used to that feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
yes. So for him, it was all about his belief was the only thing that existed in this universe. Okay?
Yeah.
And I said, if you want my help, you're going to have to do everything that I tell you to do. So
Yeah.
I worked with him, and I worked with him, and I worked with him. And I'm talking about, I had to literally, physically get him up to use the bathroom. I had to wipe him. I had to do everything. This is my brother that's 1 year older than me.
Yeah.
Do you know that he got healed? We got him his own apartment. We gave him all of our furniture, everything, so that he could, because he was on a set income on Social Security. He couldn't afford anything. We gave him everything, the bed, everything, the microwave, everything, so that when we moved him out, he could walk, he could cook, he could do everything on his own. Not once did he ever say it was because I helped heal him. Not once.
You're stubborn.
Okay? And a friend of mine that also does what we do, she's in South Africa. She said, Rochelle, can I pray for your brother? I said, I will ask him because I know how I am. I asked him if she could pray for him. He said no. He said no. So that's why I say I don't pray for people that don't ask for it because it goes against what they believe in.
I'm glad you told me that. That's interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because you don't know. People might be nice to you in front of your face and be your friend, but you don't really know how they feel.
Yeah.
So that was like with my brother. So when he was in the hospital, when he passed and stuff, I did not even pray over him the way that I would pray. because I knew it would go against his belief.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody.
You're okay.
It's going to be
Don't
emotional.
But
no,
that's,
you're
you know,
okay.
I'm trying to show the point of why I do what I do. But the people have to ask because they have to take it in. It does something to
They have to receive it for what it's
body.
meant for. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what it is. Sorry, everybody.
No,
Okay.
you're
No,
okay.
don't be sorry. Like
You're okay.
it must be hard to talk about that.
Yeah, it's because of the emotion, Suze. Remember, Mystical's got a lot of energy.
Whew.
That's why it's
Not
buffering a
more
little.
red. Yeah, but and then okay, so then not only that, so now since he's passed, because he knows how I am, because they'll
Yeah.
see. He actually came to us when he passed before we even left the house and turned the TV on. I told you that story.
Yes.
So even in spirit, he reached out knowing that I was going to be able to receive it and to understand where it came from. But it took him passing to get to that point because everybody's beliefs are different. Everybody's.
Humans are stubborn, aren't they? They really are. But
Yeah.
it just shows you then that that's interesting to know that, though, because people will only realise that if you are a different religion or something, prayers could actually hurt you. So that's good that you said that, Mystical. I didn't know that.
That's why, like, when I'm on my shows in my chat and that, I'm like, I was going to do some prayers and that. Is there anyone that wants prayers? Is there anyone that wants this, wants that?
Yeah.
Yes, I want this done. I want that. Then they're giving you that permission to do that. You know what I mean? But if I was just to go in there and start doing it and putting people's names into the hats and that, that's you don't do that. You got
See, there Mike comes to mind again because it's typically it was something. Well, Mike's situation was a lot more serious, I suppose, but it just shows you because that's what happened to Mike. Mike had a Mike had a person that taught him some stuff and things, and he really looked up to the lady, and she was his close friend. And when he got noticed that she was dying, he did a ritual and used his own blood and things to keep her alive for 3 days until he got there. And it wasn't until and he had to get permission and things for his guides to do it. And they did actually advise him against doing it, his guides. But he did it anyway. And he knew the minute he woke up the next day that he had done the wrong thing. But he did actually manage to get to see the lady alive. But what he was told was that she was in pain for those 3 days, excruciating pain for those 3 days, because it wasn't her energy, it was his energy. So therefore, her energy was suffering more than anything because Mike's energy was keeping her alive. And also, he was doing it out of a selfish means because he wanted to see her before she passed instead of letting her pass gracefully herself. So therefore, that's why Mike ended up with loads of kidney problems and different things because of the ritual he did. And then sadly, he did pass. But he knew the next day after doing that ritual that it was the wrong thing to do. And the lady did suffer for 3 days because of it.
and
And
he
he's
felt bad
always
for
tried
that as
to,
well.
yep, he's always tried to put that out there to people to be very careful what you do when you do blood rituals and things, especially because it can damage you. And sometimes you are doing things out of selfish reason, and really weigh up the balance. Are you doing this for you or are you doing this for the other person? So you've
At
got
the
to
end
be
of the day, life
careful.
is life, okay? And life and death is all one thing, okay? And when somebody's time is there to be finished, then you should let it just happen gracefully, okay?
Yeah.
Like the way that it should, yeah.
He
I
just
get
loved
that
her
people
that
want
much.
to
He
be
wanted to
there and
go
people
say
love them,
goodbye.
they want to keep them here. I get that, okay, guys?
Yeah.
But when you're chosen to go, let them go. As hard as it is, you know what I mean? Like you can pray, you can do things, you can try and help them, but let them go gracefully. And
Yeah, you've got to pray
learn
for
after that.
them to get the
Mike,
peace. Yeah.
Mike got really affected by that and got really sick
Yeah.
because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I'm gonna do it, say like if I'm in the chat on somebody's live or something, and I say, sending prayers to all those that need it.
Need it.
That's saying, to all those that need it. If they have the choice to accept it or not
Yeah.
accept it. So that's
Yeah.
putting it,
Yeah.
you're sending a prayer to those that want to accept it. and then you'll always get those back, and the ones that say thank you, they've accepted it. The ones that don't
Yeah.
want to accept it, it's not going to matter. But it's like if somebody in the chat is hurting, then you can, like I say, you can say you're
Yeah, and that's
sending
what I
it
do.
out to those that want to, that
I
want.
just I would just say random things, like I'm putting out healing and good health and stuff to people. People that want it can have it. Like, because obviously if
Good
they're
night,
saying thank you,
Kyle.
then they've accepted
Sorry,
it, haven't they?
wrong
But if they
person.
don't, right, and they don't
Hmm.
respond, they're not accepting what you're doing anyway. So they're not getting affected by it. But if they're actually acknowledging it and they're saying thank you, then they've acknowledged what you've done for them. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
why you should do it that way, because it gives them the option if they want it or not. You know what I
Right,
mean?
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah. It says, "Oh my God, buffering."
Yeah.
Who's buffering? I
It
don't
was
see.
ages ago. Yeah, it was a while ago. It was when you were crying, Mystical. I think it was just your
oh,
energy.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
you got a
oh, it
strong
says the
energy.
Yeah, just your energy
yeah.
effect.
I'm surprised half the
Then you've
stuff
got
didn't
any
shut
questions,
down.
guys? Just want to ask any questions? Is there anything you want explained?
Can't see anything. What do you mean?
Sue says can't see anything.
What's wrong, Suze? You've maybe. I don't know why you can't see anything, Suze. Maybe refresh, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes YouTube can go a bit weird and you have to just refresh. B.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hi, Phoenix. Didn't see you come in, Sass. Are you just done? Welcome.
Yeah, Michelle's
I'm
telling
looking
her to
down because my
refresh.
tablet's down there.
Yeah, refresh. I just said
I think,
refuse.
as an investigator and a spiritual person, let's say, we'll not keep mentioning the witch word. It's just. Anyway, as a spiritual person and investigator, I think as long as you're doing something from your heart, not for selfish reasons, even if you're going out ghost hunting, make it about
She got
being
it.
there for the spirits and things, not about your video and the views you're going to get for it, not about nothing else except from concentrating on those spirits and doing
Okay.
everything for a place of love and wanting to help, then you can't go far wrong. As long as you stay unselfish, I think most of the
Oh,
time, 99% of the time, you'll be doing a good thing.
Hello, Phonics, darling.
hello. Hey, Phoenix.
Welcome, sis.
I'm trying to catch up over here from me
How
Yeah,
do
talking
you
so
all
much.
that is
feel about energies
right
coming
there.
to you before they pass?
That is true. What Sister Drew said. It
Yeah,
is, and that's why you'll see us do such things as giving out offerings and things to them, and talking to them, and inviting them when we're having dinner. You'll see it with me every year at Christmas. I'll make a massive
yeah,
Christmas dinner for my spirits, Christmas puddings,
Hmm.
everything, because you have to, like, even though they're not here anymore, they still do so much for you in life. Okay, so
yeah,
always give back, and it's the same with your higher powers. You wouldn't be who you are and doing what you're doing if you didn't have them. So always
yeah.
show your gratitude. You know what I mean? It's very important. Very, very.
Hmm.
Even if it's just your ancestors and things. I mean, a
Any,
lot of people
yeah,
don't realise that your guides are usually your ancestors or your gran, your papa, or somebody
yeah,
most of the time.
any,
And
any spirit.
they're always going to have your back. Nobody's going to have your back more than your family. And
Yeah,
even if it's an ancestor for 1,000 years ago, So just try and trust your guides with anything that you're ever doing. And the way you'll know it's your guides is it's that little voice in your head that tells you, great, if you like. If you're thinking of doing something and you hear that wee voice saying don't do it, then take that as a guidance.
yeah, no,
It's the
that is what
voice
they're
that'll
here for. And
argue
that's
with
how
you.
my energies learnt me when I was learning, and that they were saying, like, you never ask to not give. If you want help
No.
and you want things, you give back. That's why
Yeah,
when I go to nature,
Hmm.
if I take anything, you will never ever just see me rip off a branch or take leaves. I ask permission. It's
yeah,
not mine to take just
Hmm.
randomly. I ask because I have that love and a respect for my energies. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And anything like that. If I take anything, I'll put, like, on a tree. If you cut a tree branch, you should always put a red ribbon around it because it takes away the pain from the tree. I do that every single time, and it's also a sign that a witch looks over that tree,
Hmm.
so people won't touch that tree.
Hmm.
Good stuff.
So we
I'll
got a
get one of
question
these.
here. How do you all feel about energies coming to you before they pass?
Yeah. I've
Well,
not had it yet. I wouldn't mind if they did, but I've not had it yet.
Sherry, do you want to go into that one? It's kind of a confusing one.
Yeah.
How do you all feel about energies coming to you before they pass? Well, there is a residual energy in everybody, okay? And even before we pass, yeah, if there is something that's going on with our body, or we are going to pass away, the energy can be known to leave, and visit higher energies or a loved
Yeah.
one. Um, that's why you've got such things as like crisis apparitions as well. Like before you learn of the passing, they will turn up in front of you, and you'll know that something's happened because they're there in front of you. It's called a crisis apparition, where they turn up
Oh,
and
like
they
if in a car crash or
but
something right at that
you're
moment.
not aware.
Right.
Yeah, you're not aware that they're dead until you actually see them, and then you'll
Right.
get a call a couple of minutes later saying that your loved one's died or something. But you can also get that through an energy of somebody that is still living. Their spirit can leave to try to find a way to be able to understand for when they go across. So sometimes they
Right.
will visit spiritual people and you can talk to that energy even though they're still living. What you got to remember is our body is an energy, and even though we are living, we can still leave that body. That's why we can do things such as astro project and all this sort of stuff. We can do that. And for a lot of them spirits, the reason they do that is because they're trying to find and seek answers before what's going to happen to them, or they're trying
Yeah.
to understand what it's like. I mean, to be that way. So, I think it's a very special thing when they do that to you, when they feel that you're good enough to be able to be shown to, and to share that moment with. I think that's an amazing thing. I've only ever had that happen maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've had like okay energies. Now, the thing is I've had energies come to me that I don't even know who they are.
yeah,
It's
that majority of
almost,
the
yeah,
time. Yeah,
it's almost like the energy is leaving the person and they venture out and seek like a beacon who they can pick up and
Right.
contact.
yeah,
And
Right.
I've had those, but at the same time, I have no idea who they are, where to reach them, where to find this person, or anything like that. I just have to give out a positive energy along with their energy, as in saying, it's okay, whatever happens, just accept it, don't fight it, and go with it. Because other than that, I have no
that is all.
idea where
That's
this
all you
energy
can
is
do.
coming from.
That is all you
Right.
can do. You can't really do much else because that like out of the three, I had one that was somebody that I knew. Okay, the other two were two people that I didn't know, and like Sister Mystical said, all I'd done is just gave them the advice on how to go over and just to accept it because it's part of life and that you're going to be okay, and and it does
Yeah.
help. But like, it's very rare for that to happen. You'd think being spiritual, we would have had that happen to us a lot. No,
I think
like
that's
Hmm.
somebody that's scared
depends.
then that their loved ones won't come for them, or they're scared to go to the
Yeah,
wrong
it could be a
place
lot
or
of reasons.
something.
Yeah, it could be
Right.
that they're scared that loved ones won't come to them, scared of death.
Or
Like
they're
Right.
they don't
homeless.
really
Maybe
know
they're
what to
homeless.
expect. They're
Hmm.
homeless. They
Right.
haven't got anywhere to go. They don't know
Like the
what to
Naked
do.
Bigfoot, Dad's Prizzle Roses are blooming. This is his. Oh, a new
Oh,
post from
just
Mike the
noticed
Naked
your
Bigfoot
bracelet,
on
Sherry. It's
Twitter.
beautiful. Yeah, it's got all witchy stuff on it. Yeah, one of my witch sisters made me
Yeah,
it and
yeah,
sent it to me.
beautiful. She explained on one of I don't remember if it was on Drew's channel or my channel where she was going through all of them and telling you
I
what
I
they were.
lost my dear granddad recently. So I had this bought for my birthday and that, and then I had this sent. So this one here, the two angel wings. One represents my granddad and one represents my auntie. And then there is a very big one that is just my granddad. And what I done, which is this one. So what I done is when I got them, I actually blessed over them so that I've got their energy carried with me always, so that I'm protected and things. So this is my granddad's one as well. He only recently died, and I was very close to him. So this has been helping a lot. But then all the rest of it is been blessed and whatever as well. Anything I get that's to resemble witchcraft, I always bless it and whatever, and put positive energy into it and stuff and protection. And but yeah, I've got the Day of the Dead, very important to witches. Day of the Dead, celebrating the
Oh,
life
look
of
at
the
Mike's
deceased.
roses blooming.
You
You
know,
will see it.
It's a
Sorry, guys.
bird. It was
Yeah, I know, it's because of the reflection. It's on
yeah.
Twitter. His son must have put it up.
Okay.
It's just an amazing journey. I love it, honestly do. I think I wasted so many years not knowing what I wanted to do in my life. It's crazy. To now at 50 years of age, try my hardest to get my driving license and start to go places and things. I mean,
favorite
I
colour.
feel as if I've never did anything with my life. I've never learnt to drive. I've never really had a decent job. You know, it's time now for everybody, especially the way the world is. Do the things that make you happy and the
Yeah,
things that you know is
I
making
agree.
you thrive in your mental health and things. I just
I
Yep.
do
wasted
agree.
so
I
long.
agree there. Like, even though everybody feels life drags out, life is really short, guys. So make
Yeah.
the most of it. You know what I mean? Even though it
Oh,
don't feel
yeah.
like it, it is. And there's a question here saying something about favorite color, favorite song, other things that
I
help
Yeah.
can't
you
read it because it's
grounded
so
in this
small.
dimension, so that you make continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of things.
Sherry, do you want to go first and answer that question? Favorite color, favorite song, other things that help keep you grounded in the dimension so that you may continue.
All
So
right.
my favorite color is red. Okay. And my favorite color being red is because I believe that red is a very positive color. I also believe it is a very empowering color as well. It really, really symbolizes the strength in spirituality. I really do believe that. My favorite song would be "In the Arms of an Angel." That is my favorite song by far, and that's what I would want at my funeral by far. That was also what my granddad had at his, and I play to him. Other things that keep you grounded. Well, I go and do things like treading and things, okay, which is where you take off your shoes and you walk and you feel the vibrations of nature. I use things such as using drums and things like that to enhance my spirituality, to keep me grounded. I do the basic things like doing your rituals, doing your blessings, prayers, um,
The last part is may continue, not make.
and may continue.
So,
And
okay, may
obviously,
continue.
I very much, all I really like to do is I always like to make sure that I am very much connected to my energies and very connected to my spirituality. So I do that through doing like music and through dance and through doing my spells and my workings, doing my treading, which is walking through nature with your shoes off, laying on the ground, feeling the
Yeah.
vibration. I work with a lot of that sort of stuff. And I do believe that helps you to go into other dimensions, and that also helps you in the afterlife as well, because if you're so connected here now, you're going to be very connected when you go there, so you're going to have more of an understanding, to my opinion.
Yeah.
Drew?
Um, I think my favourite colour is blue. It always has been blue for, I was a teenager, and I think it's just because it's a nice colour, really. But if I was to think about it and pick a colour that represents my personality and things, it would also be blue. So blue's everything to me. It's just everything's always blue or
Yeah,
teal. My favourite songs is probably Pink. Don't Let Me Get Me is one of my favourite songs. It reminds me of myself. Um, it just resonates with me, that song, Don't Let Me Get Me. It just does. Because I'm my own worst enemy. But yeah,
yeah.
what was the last bit of the question? Sorry.
And other
Um,
things that you do to ground yourself and
All
in the
the things to
dimension,
ground
so
myself. I
that
light my
you
altar
may
every day.
continue.
Every day in life to help myself stay grounded. I always put fresh water on my altar. I always light my candles and give my thanks for just being here another day. And I try my hardest to just live a life just helping people, really, and that
Yeah,
helps keep me grounded. I think if you live a humble life and try to help people with anything you do, then it kind of helps you as well, keeps
it
you
does. Yeah,
grounded. Yeah.
and it does continue
so
into your life. If you do that now, then it does continue into your
My
life.
favourite witchy song is Evergreen. Yeah, my favourite
that's
witchy
good.
one is Evergreen.
That's a
That's
good song.
my favourite witchy one. What about you,
So,
Mystical Sis?
What about you, sis?
well, my favorite color is, I actually have not one favorite color. It's actually a mixture of three, which is
Ooh,
red, purple, and black. Those
Mhm.
are my three main go-to colors. Why? I have no idea. My whole entire life is pretty much been those three colors.
see,
Favorite
well, Uncle
song?
Danny explains that to you because one is your main colour that represents your personality, one represents your soul self, and the other represents, I do believe, it's your journey. So
Yeah,
they do have an explanation of why you're attracted to them. Sorry, I didn't mean to
yeah.
interrupt.
Oh, that's okay. And as far as a favorite song goes, I don't really have a favorite song. For me, any song without words, that's just music, I resonate with more.
Right.
Not the words, because the words are, to me, meaningless, because at the time that whoever wrote it, it might meant something to them, not
True.
necessarily to me. Where the music, the frequency of the music resonates with me a whole lot.
Right.
um,
Yeah.
Other
I
things.
suppose that helps you beat it. Because think about it, when you're doing rituals and things, it's like the beat, isn't it? So it is really the
Well, yeah,
music that gets you hooked, isn't it?
and I'm
Yeah,
very
It's just
connected to that as
depending your
well.
emotion,
I
it's
like
the word. Uh-huh.
I like unworded music as well, but a word song, mine would be "In the Arms of an Angel,"
Yeah.
and it
okay.
is. But
Well,
yeah,
mine's is Pink Don't Let
I
Me
like
Get Me.
rhythm. I like weirdness. I like things that are out there and
Different.
that people don't do very much. And I mean, you
Hmm.
be different.
Mystical, you'll not like this, but the only thing I don't like is rock music.
I don't like rock music either. But,
You can
and
keep
then
your
as far,
Metallica and
yeah,
things, your biker music.
How can you not like
as,
what? Okay.
as
Oh, I
far
don't
as
like
the
biker music, honestly.
as far
Sorry.
as the grounded part, then the rest of it, for me, it's just being out in nature. No specific thing on ground. It's just being in nature. Whether
Yeah.
it's standing next to an ocean, standing next to the river, standing next to the creek, being out in the woods, up in the mountains. As long as I'm in nature, then I feel as one, and that I can continue putting out the energy, the knowledge that I know that I can send out to other people. I
Yeah.
could not in my life live in a city, a big city with
Oh, neither could
cement
I.
and buildings.
Mm-mm.
I could not live like that. I would probably be so stressed and depressed and
Oh
everything
See
yeah.
when you
else.
see it, see
I'm
when you see New
always,
York Park. See if you've ever seen a
yeah.
film or something, you see New York City where it's pure packed and there's a camera walking. That makes me go into a panic attack.
That's paranoia, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see.
I couldn't do that.
I live
That
in a
could.
village and countryside, and I love it. I like to be around trees and nature.
Yeah, I like to be in the
I'd
Yeah.
be
country.
lost without
Yeah,
it.
always nature, 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 nature.
Yeah.
So let's see what else.
Oh, I think she's trying to
Everybody
get
else?
my bracelet.
See, my mum got
Yeah.
me a one for my Christmas. And it only had, I think, about 5 different charms on it. I don't know what I've done with it. I'll need to look in my big
Well,
jewellery box.
my witch friend that does that is her husband actually makes these. Okay,
See,
so
well, maybe that's where my mum
if
got
any of
it.
you wanted any of these, I could probably speak to her and they could probably get things like that sorted.
My mum got it off a Wish or something, I think, I
Yeah,
do believe. But it just
Hmm.
shows you, though. I don't know where it is. It's probably upstairs. But every time I see you with it, I think, I'll need to find that bloody bracelet.
yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
Nice, yeah. What are you saying, Dobby Sass?
Oh,
Let me go back to the
blue
comments,
is
guys.
my very favorite color. I love rock, Motown, and some classic and 70s disco music. LOL.
See, my favourite colours for my three is blue, black, and teal. That's my three favourite. And see, when Uncle Danny was teaching us to work it out, how you feel, what he did was he told us to look at a colour and see how it makes you feel. So if say you look at grey and it makes you feel a certain way, then that's like that's your soul colour. If you look at a colour and it makes you joyful and things, then that's like your favourite colour. He explained it in a much better way than me, guys, but there is a reason
Look
that
his
you're
name
drawn
up.
to colours.
Look that
Oh, yeah.
name up, and
Yeah,
that's
take a
what
picture
the
of it.
company is.
Yeah,
Look that up, and I'll have a word with my sister Alison. I'll just say that some people really like my bracelet, and I think you may get some buyers or something, because they
yeah,
actually make all of it, not just the little dangly things, but they actually make the bracelet itself as well. So they can do all of it.
there you go.
Anybody else have any questions that they want to ask that they've been wondering about, or that they want to confirm that maybe we've experienced? Don't forget to hit the like and make sure everybody shares out and everybody subscribes to everybody's channels. Hit the notifications.
Yep.
Share, everybody.
And we will be trying to get a coven meeting in the next maybe 3 or 4 days, guys. So keep a wee eye out on my channel page.
Oh, there you go. Okay, get a picture of it, whoever needs it. There you go, like
I've
that.
also got Ghost Squad is now on a Friday night. We've moved it to a Friday night because we are getting a lot more viewers. So that's about the only thing. A Thursday night we are going to be going up in my channel. I can't even remember what it was I put out. But the ladies will be joining me Thursday night as well, guys. So that's about all I've got coming up. Any questions? Because I will have to go just shortly, guys. Liam's no long in and he'll need fed.
Any questions? Or Sherry, what do you have coming up?
At the minute, I don't really want to risk in doing anything at the minute because
Okay.
of what's going on. But when I am back and fighting fit, I will be doing some more spirit boxes and stuff and talks and educational bit. But at the minute, we've had something going on, and I don't want to risk it at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep everything positive, guys.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, let's see what Dobby.
You may just see me do random shows where I come on and say hello. That's about it. Music.
Well, and if you want to put more random stuff, put my stuff on your channel.
Yeah.
Well, that, I could actually show people's shows for the time being while I'm having the issues and that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Get over
Yeah.
doing that, yeah.
Yeah, through like a how-to videos and all of that kind of stuff. That's fine with me.
That's why I
do
encourage you
some-
guys to make playlists on your channel. If you make a playlist on your channel to say Mystical's videos where she's teaching us things, then if somebody goes to your channel and they see that, you're actually helping Mystical out as well, because for all it's advertised on your channel, Mystical gets a view for it. So it's
That's what I'm
helpful.
saying.
Yeah, it's helpful
And I
for
think
us
I'll
to
do
look
that for
up the
both of
videos,
you.
and
I
it's
think I'll
helpful
do
for
for
her.
you as well, Sister Drew. I'll do
Yeah.
it for both of you. I'll put both of your stuff on there. But yeah, no, they're
Thank
really
you.
pretty. I'll speak to my friend Alison for you, and she might have like a website or something that she can give over to me. And I can give it over one of my shows or something. Okay.
So if nobody else has any more questions, we'll let them go. It's what time is it in your?
It is
6?
coming up for 11
I'm on
o'clock.
11.
For England
Okay.
and Scotland.
Alrighty. So we'll also be back here also too on next Tuesday. You'll see me on Drew's channel on Thursday. And Lee says, "What you got going today?" And I said, "I think Drew's coming on." He goes, "I thought Drew was only on one time or 2 times." And I said, "Drew's on all the time, and I'm watching Sherry's stuff."
Exactly.
Sorry, Lee, you're stuck with me.
I think we're going to be inseparable now because we've got the thing that we wanted. Me and Sister Drew have always wanted to have like another Witchy
Yeah.
sister. We've got one now. So.
Yeah, and I do believe that eventually Amora will be back, guys, as well. She's just Amora's just doing her own thing at the moment, and I do believe Dobby will join us eventually. So we have got things coming up.
I am on Facebook. I'm under Sherry Brett on Facebook. So Sherry SHERRY and then Brett BRETT. And you've got my picture, so you can't miss me.
Yeah. And if you've any trouble getting her, Suze, just message me and I'll let you get the link. I'll share the link with you if you have trouble finding her. Okay?
Yeah.
And I have a Facebook, but I don't ever put anything hardly on Facebook.
Right,
If I'm on
Bobby says.
Facebook, it's because I've tagged on something and I go on it to look to see what it is. Because my messenger does not work. I'll get a notification, somebody send me a message, and I
Nice.
can't reply.
And also Christine, who you see in the chat all the time, has made up a WhatsApp group for us all. So
I
I'll
need somebody to send me the WhatsApp link because I don't have
yeah.
WhatsApp. That's what I'm
So
waiting
I
for.
will be sending that out to Dobie and different people as well. So and Mystical as well. You're going to download WhatsApp again, aren't you?
Yeah,
So we've
I'll
got like a
download it again.
platform.
Yeah, I actually already forgot about it. I'm old and
That's
Yeah.
forgetful.
okay. It just gives us somewhere to talk off of YouTube, you know, and get to know each other a bit better. Plan coven meetings and things without always having to go live to
That'd be
talk to
good to
each
be on a
other.
different platform, wouldn't it? That'd be a good
Yeah,
different platform.
yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we'll end this. Thank you everybody for coming in. Appreciate it and all your questions and your positive energies. And we'll see you on the next show, whether it's Drew's or Sherry's or mine or whatever. We'll see you all. Thanks for coming in.
Bye, guys. We're not
Bye.
far away. Blessings.
Blessings to all.